Here it is, the Perix. The Perix by Real Steel. You on the Love Them Knives channel. The Perix. Wow. This is interesting, but this is very typical for my buddy Ostap Hel. And I saw him for the first time in person in Atlanta at the Atlanta Blade Show. And of course, I'll be there in the 2024 Blade Show, which at the time of this taping is just a week and a half away or so from this Blade Show coming up. Very excited about that. Hopefully I'll run into him again. Other people, Kombu as well. And of course, both of those guys are from Poland. And this one, it's got that, look at the backspacer on this thing. Isn't that wild? Yeah, I'll open it up. I'm not sure how much I'm going to want to disassemble it because it's got this. I could take the back off and then you could see the Omega springs and maybe this side of this and this and that. We've got liners in here. They're nested, they're steel, and they're skeletonized. But this, fold it over now. Ooh, we got strength. We definitely got strength with this one. And it's Nitro V blade, which is interesting. I don't remember a lot of Nitro V being used by Real Steel in the past so much. But this is nice. It's a good user steel. Ambidextrous thumb studs. You got jimping up here on the blade. But this is not, outside the design range of Ostap because he does a lot of very slender type blades. And this is light, easy to carry, super fidget friendly. I mean, you want to flick it out with a thumb stud or reverse flick, however you want to do it. But it feels light in the hand, yet it feels strong. And obviously you can flip the clip left or right hand, however you want to do that. So that's nice, and it's a full-size knife too. Let's grab the old tape measure and take a real quick look, and then we'll put it on the scale. Yeah, 3.5-inch blade. Okay, so it's 8 inches, yeah, pretty much 8 inches overall length at 20.2 centimeters. Okay, so that's good, and probably under 3mm blade stock or somewhere around 3.12. Okay, maybe it's 0.11, 2.8 millimeter. Okay, it's about what I figured. 11.8 at 0.46. So slender in the pocket, slender blade stock, should be a nice little cutter. And if it is, we will find out here in a little bit, just kind of the general factory edge situation. Oh, whoever did this one did a good job. You know what? That's good. Okay. That is nice and sharp. That is sharper than the standard factory edge. And what do we got here? We got 0. Jeez. Let's do this again. We got 0 grams, but now we've got less than 83 grams. Wow, this is light. This is light for a full-size dog, isn't it? 2.9 ounces. Yeah, baby. And it's sharp, and it's a stony wash. Yes, it is. Any play here? No. Is it centered? Yup. Is there play here? Well, I mean, you start pulling on it. Yeah, of course there is. There you go. So, yeah. You can open it like this if you wanted to. It's the spring thing. Bang. Boom. Boom. Just goes right back into the handle, doesn't it? So yeah, it's very fidget friendly. Feels good in the hand. The ergos are nice. I mean, but this is so light. Boy, this would be tough not to carry, wouldn't it? Because you don't have a lot of money in it. I have some paperwork on it somewhere around here that I've And here it is, and here it is. And of course, this is probably MSRP of 75, so when it comes out and it's minimum advertised price, God, MAP, I should have said MAP. They're calling it 3.39. Really? It seemed like 3.5 to me. Where am I coming up different than they are? Or was I not reading this correctly? Or are they just trying to sound like it's not as long? Is that 3.5 inches? That's 3.5 inches, maybe 3.39 cutting length. Okay. I was just kind of wondering, but they're in there. I mean, if you would buy a Civivi knife with Nitro V and all this kind of stuff, probably going to be around the $75 range too. And here's the 2.88 ounces, yeah, 82 grams or close to 83, this and that, but yeah, okay. And there's the Real Steel's integral spine concept, one finger crossbar, this. Yeah, okay, so there's your pause and read stuff. Regardless, nice. Okay, here's the box. Here's what it says on the box. I already showed you that. And let's kick this open if we can be so bold as to get it to drop out. It'd be nice if they would do a little cutaway on these boxes, because when they're empty, they don't just fall open. Okay, we got it. I think we're gonna work it loose. Okay, finally. Now, if they just do a little, cutaway like a lot of boxes do, have a little cutaway to where you can grab it and you can pull the bottom out, whatever. But that would be nice. And what's this? This is just a kind of a generic thing, your paperwork. Here's a more exact thing about the specific knife that you just bought. All right. And then they all come wrapped up like they've been doing for years. They wrap the knife up in the microfiber cloth. And it says Real Steel right here. Okay. So that's nice. It's very, and the box is really sturdy. So this is not bad. And they give you a little thing on the exact knife that you bought. And these are strong. They're strong boxes. I just wish they had the little cutaway so I could just pop the box apart easier. Okay. But it is what it is. Man, that is. Feels good. Ergos wise, super lightweight. Ostap Hel design. Nice little cutter. Very sharp blade. Nitro V, good user steel. What can I tell you? I think we're in good shape here. And if we're in that good a shape, let's see how good a shape old LTK can be, messing with it now. And get me my drivers here. And let's see what we got going forward. Obviously, somehow that's a captured pivot, and you can see, yeah, it's got a squared off area there. And so, yeah, it is a captured, and we're looking at a number 6 up here, which is the other side of this build. So what are we into now when we've got this pocket clip? Well, let's kick it. Okay, skeletonized liners down there. Here's the screw, and it's trapped underneath the pocket clip, but we could pull the pocket clip off, and then you could put it on the other side if you want. Right now, I'm good with it being trapped right there. I'm good. Let me take a look at what else we got. Okay, so now we've got this folded steel integral. This is all, as I was showing you before, how this is all just a nice folded piece of steel. That's cool. Now, if I wanted to, I could take this, but I can't take this out, this crossbar lock, and take this piece off. unless I go and push this pivot all the way through, because I can't unscrew this side, can I? And I have to take this scale off so that if I move the crossbar lock to push it all the way through, once I take this omega spring off, then how's it going to make it into this area without taking this scale off on this side? It won't. So what you have to do is take this scale off, but the only way you take the scale off is to take this pivot out. And the pivot has to come out by pushing it through, doesn't it? Or you can pull it, you know, when you pull this scale, okay? You can pull it that way. Let's just take a little gander in here. And I can't tell if this is on bearings or not, but I don't want to take all this apart, because putting it back together becomes a situation. And I don't know how these guys find it so easy to assemble these unless they have a little pivot pin like this where they can put it in, they can do the assembly, and then they can take it, the little jig out, and just push the pivot through and push the faux pivot pin out at the same time, and so they can just push it right through, and there it is. But I don't have a piece that I can just leave in there, and when you pull the whole thing out and you try and put it back together, you got to line up the washers, bearings, or whatever it is along with the blade all together to push this through, because you can't push this pivot through until you got this outer scale on. You see what I'm saying? That's why the clutch lock from Kaiser is so nice, because you can unscrew this. So you can take the screw out and the pivot tube stays in the knife. So you can just pull this off and you can look at the omega springs on both sides, and you could actually take it apart, put the pivot back in and build the knife, and then put the scales on both sides. It's so much easier. So if I were Real Steel, I would emulate that design. I would. And if I was Benchmade, I would too, because I've had my share of all of those axis lock setups where there's no screw here and you don't have a three-piece pivot. You really need to if you have an axis lock design or crossbar lock design, as far as I'm concerned. And tell me why that's not a smart idea, because I keep thinking it over, like, am I missing something? But what I've heard from other guys is that they agree. They go, no, you're right. That's so much easier. And I know that Liang Ma, when he's going to do his crossbar ones on his line, is he's going to do that as well. He's going to have a three-piece pivot where you can take it off, and it's going to be emulating that clutch lock situation. Oh, and then we got to get this locked down. Okay, so you can move that pocket clip if you want, but I've got it locked down. I may have it locked down a little too. No, not bad. Oh, okay, hopefully we're not sloppy either. Okay, let's just make sure. Yeah, we're good. It kind of snugs up to where you know you're snugged up to. Okay, but still, that's nice. That feels good. It feels solid. I mean, where it's interfering with the blade and everything, looks like it's just got it. It's got it. It's not coming loose. So interesting all the way around that Real Steel's using this folded steel integral, faux integral backspacer liner thing here, okay? Like they did on the Self, the SYLPH, and others that they've done in this tradition. So interesting. They're doing it. I'm not seeing it being done much anywhere else that I can see. But it makes it light. It makes it sturdy. So nothing wrong with that. And we are back. Wow, that's fidget friendly, isn't it? You know, I tend to, of all the knives that come through here, I can't keep them all. I can't afford to keep them all. But there are certain ones that you really stretch out to think about keeping long term and having as a user. And this would be one of them because this is so light, so fidget friendly, so easy to use and strong that this, with a Nitro V blade, but it's just so easy to function with that this is really a consideration for a long-term keeper user for me. You're not going to cry about whatever because it didn't cost that much money, and yet so lightweight to carry, yet it's still a full-size 3.5-inch blade, 8-inch overall knife. Okay, just saying. Now, if it had blue scales, I'd like it even better. But here it is. Take care, my friends. We do love them knives. You guys stay sharp.